Welcome, YouTube. It's your boy, Mississippi Survivor, back in this thing. I've talked to, first off, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. My day was, I would have to say, good at a portion, and then devil came in and destroyed a portion, and then I had to get my mindset back and get that back on path. So I still would say it was pretty good. Pretty good. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You know who you are. Uh, I would like to say thank you to all my subscribers, even though I've been off here for a minute. It's people. I don't want to jump you around too long. I'm trying to get straight to it. I'm like, man, dude, it's so much going on right now. It is crazy. Since I was just saying, you look back at my videos, what I've been saying, prep, get yourself together, blah, blah, blah. Just since then, gas prices triple. Gas prices are ridiculous. Averaging $6 a gallon. In some places, gas is $7 to $8 in some places. I don't want to go to now one of them places because I'm just gonna run out. I'm gonna drive on E all the way until I get to somewhere else to get some gas. Or put a gas tank on the back of the car and have that mother gas in. I pull over, do my own. I don't, e- I don't even know where to start it. It's this is oh my god. But I said I've been running to. I didn't think that the channel was reaching people as I thought it would have, but it actually is, and it actually reaching a lot of people in my community because I've seen so many people come up to me. You're that Mississippi Survivor guy, and I'm like in shock, like people are actually watching this. I'm on video number 25. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow. I mean, you know what I mean? That makes me feel better that some people that are listening and some people are asking me for advice and different things they can do, the different things that they should do to prep and prepare. I just want to touch on the subject with you guys. I mean, it, I'm going to say this, and you can go ahead and say how ludicrous this sounds to you because it sounds absolutely ludicrous. And who in their right mind would believe this? News report saying 10,000 cattle had a stroke and died. Was that? Hmm? 10,000 cattle. Now, I'm pretty sure the heat that we got this year was the same heat we've been having every year. So what's different about this heat that they didn't have a stroke years before now? That's because they ain't had no heart attack. He killed them. Come on, dude. Man, they killed these cattle. Killed them, controlling the beef. Another part in controlling the food. Come on, y'all. You gotta think. Got to think. 90 some percent of what I said so far is happening. And I already said it was it's the SHT. Yeah, it's already hitting the fan. It's already there. It was already people just were too blind to see it. Now it's getting worse, and I believe it or not, it's a lot of folks still don't see it. But 10,000 cattle having a stroke? Are you serious, dude? Really? Do you expect me to believe that? No, I don't. Try again. We got all these different things that are going on with this war. You don't know who to believe, who lying, who telling the truth. I don't care what they're doing. Personally, I'm just gonna do what I need to do to make sure we straight on, them straight on this end. Like I've been doing all the time. You keep on playing, and you talking about you gonna blow this up, and this person gonna do this, and if you get this right here, this bum to this person, then we gonna do. Man, look, I ain't got time to play with y'all. Y'all keep on doing what y'all doing because I can't control none of that, but I can control what I can do to make sure I'm good on this end. Another thing I think you guys need to be doing, you prepping food and you storing food. I think, yeah, we back to that again. Turn this down. I gotta keep an eye on things, on perimeters. Turn this down. Bear with me 1 second. Trying to get it down here. Yeah, yeah. All right, now I got it. Trying to get things together. I don't know exactly why I stopped it, but oh yeah, I know I stopped that. You getting things together and you storing your food back. It's things that you can get that's cheap. I don't know why people think you gotta be rich. You don't, man. You can get stuff cheap that lasts a long time. You start doing that first and get it by the bags and have it put back. Especially if you got a big family, man. And then you take that, for instance, rice. I'm gonna give you a cup of rice, all your dried beans, wheat. You can get that stuff by the bags and pounds. I was gonna get. I don't know about mashed potatoes and like it's just dehydrated potatoes is all it is. But I would like to have some pounds of that because I'm a potato person. I like eating potatoes. That's something I would like to have. I got quite a bit of potatoes, but I don't have any like big bags. If I see it, I'm gonna get it according to how long it lasts. Now they can talk about Roman noodles all they want to. They say they plastic. I don't care. I'm gonna get me some Roman noodles, some more Roman noodles. Why? They got all different types of seasoning. That's your Roman noodles. Just take that pack of seasoning and cut that pack of seasoning in half so it won't be 1,300 milligrams of salt. Break it down. Just season it enough of what you need and throw the rest of the pack away or use it save it. Save it for another pack of noodles. Break it down. Learn not to be wasteful with food. Don't go in there and cook 7 hot dogs knowing you ain't gonna eat but one and a half. It's just crazy. There's one and you're gonna cook all these hot dogs, then you're gonna throw the rest of it in the trash. We some spoiled, wasteful people. This freaking United States folks. Spoiled and just wasteful. It's ridiculous. Just wasteful. It's ridiculous. Wrap it up. Put it in some foil. Now I'm back. I come from old school. My parents, man, parents and older aunties and grandmas and all that. Man, you don't eat that, boy. Eat that. You ain't gonna eat that right there, man. What you finna do with that? You finna throw it in the what garbage? Man, no, you ain't throwing that in the garbage. You finna wrap that up in some foil, put it on the stove. You gonna eat that later, Jack. There's your supper. You just made it. There it is. How many of you are getting? What I want to know is how many of you are actually getting lightened, getting the different energy reserve lighting for yourself. Now, I'm not going to advise candles because first of all, it's hot. It's gonna heat your house up, and it's dangerous. Especially if you got kids and anything like that. You knock it over. You got wax everywhere, and you could start a fire, depending on where the candle's sitting. So, I mean, for outdoor use or something like that, or if it was wintertime, probably yes, but it's still a hazard at the same time. And then there's a lot of carbon that thing is putting out too. So I don't know. Some people do buy candles, man. They can deal with a tea candle, stuff like that. I do tea candles too. But I mean, if you're gonna use them, you gotta use them very sensibly and make sure your area is vented, ventilated well, or whatever, wherever you at, wherever those candles are gonna be. Make sure it's ventilated well. If that's what you're gonna use, kerosene, I'm gonna use that. Period. Whoever want to use that, more power to you. But in my situation, no, no kerosene. I'll use alcohol if I do that. Alcohol or denatured alcohol, something that doesn't make a lot of smoke, something of that nature, something like that. Or some 70% or something like that, but not, no. Kerosene, no. Now, I don't know who, for me, I say I'm trying to store some gas, but make sure if you're going to store gas safely. Don't just stack up a bunch of gas somewhere that's where the temperature ain't right for it, or trying to put it in the house and you end up getting high off gas. I mean, you know, some stuff is just some stuff common sense. I've been going through a lot, and I've been doing a lot of research. I've been hearing a lot of this, a lot of that, and just it's just too hard. It'd be impossible for me to put it all in one video. This is like multiple videos that's in my head right now. But I've been off the scene for a second, not just because I'm off of it, just because I wasn't doing anything. I was also off of it because I was getting some wood in to try to put me a raised bed together so I can start growing food there. I already started growing food outside on the porch. I already started growing food in the house. I've already been on that. The building, I already got the building. The building is already here. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. Then I was beefing up security at the same time. I'm like, a lot of time, I will stop to say, a lot of time, people, when it comes to security, it takes for something to bite them a little bit, for them to wake up and like, I'm about to do something about this. So that's kind of what happened to me. I'm moving, bustling, I mean, trying to get everything done. And in that process, some idiot decided to wash my house. So I'm like, cool. So he come by. No, I got my lawnmower sitting on the porch because I grew up in this neighborhood. We don't never really had that problem. You can leave your door unlocked if you want to. But I grew up in this neighborhood. No, I had my lawnmower on the front porch, one of those Honda lawnmowers. You know, things ain't cheap. I wake up the next morning, my lawnmower gone. Mind you, I was home, and the thing to me was, I said, "Man, this is a blessed young man. He's blessed." I'm like, why would you say he's blessed? He's blessed because I was actually up, but I was watching TV and doing something else at the time that would have caused him to get a nice little hole in him, but I didn't hear it, and I had no 1-0 camera, zero. So that woke me up. That pinched me and woke me up. You know what I mean? And that's also in what's going on right now. People are gonna get desperate and start doing stupid things. So I guess that's part of people being desperate and doing something stupid. But I forgot to leave him a note on the lawnmower and tell him that, hey, the lawnmower doesn't work. It needs work. I know what's wrong with it, but you don't. So you just stole a lawnmower that doesn't work. And I hope you see this video. In return for part two, when I have a trick for you, you're welcome to come back for bread and cookies. But like I said, it leaves me, it spikes me up and say, hey, if that happened, something else can happen. So hey, get yourself together and get your perimeter secured. And again, it's hard to do when there's one person getting all this stuff together at once. I'm doing, I think, a heck of a job, but I'm doing it by myself. So I'm gonna get all this stuff together in perimeter. So I went from that perimeter of no cameras to, I know it's gonna sound weird, two alarm systems, not one, two. So two alarm system and 16 cameras. Did I overkill that or what? I want to see if the grass moves. You understand me? That's just me. If I do something, I overdo it. I think some of you guys should do overdo it too. I mean, I'd rather overdo it than mediocre or do it to a small extent. It's just like solar. I already installed solar on my home, so I'm like this now. So I'm going to overkill the solar. I want to make sure it's plenty. That's just how you got to do it because you don't know if like if something happened, you don't know what they are planning right at this moment and what they're doing. So whatever they're doing, what if it's in the plan, it'll affect you going to the store and just picking you up a couple of solar panels and putting them on your house. You screwed. So why wait? Why wait? Just go ahead and go and pick them up now, put them on your house, and that's the one less thing you got to worry about. Reinforce your doors on your house. And what I mean by that, for some people that don't know how to reinforce their doors on the house, I call it the granny lock. What is the granny lock, Mississippi Survivor? The granny lock is when you was growing up and you went to your grandma's house and she had a tube full across her door. That's what I call reinforcing the door. You get two iron brackets. One slides through the one bracket, and close latch down on the other other latch. And they need a truck to come through there. Ain't no sense of kicking it because you ain't finna kick through no two before. It ain't gonna work. So that's what I meant. Get the granny lock. That's the best lock I ever seen. The granny lock. For reinforcements. For people that's out that has storms and different things of that nature, I would advise you to go ahead and go to the store. I know wood is high. You can find it by strap or by a friend or off eBay or wherever you can get it from. Get you some wood, measure all your windows, and go ahead and cut it to fit, which can serve for more than one purpose. It can serve the purpose of that storm. If a storm was coming, it'll also serve the purpose of if people was looting and throwing and trying to bust windows and all that right there, you'll have that on your windows so you ain't got to worry about that. So it will serve that purpose as well. I just felt like coming on here tonight just to try to just give you some tools to kind of like to help you. Some do's, some don'ts. I mean, to give you a hand. Because, I mean, for the people that could use that, I mean, the information I'm giving out is awesome. I'm glad, you know what I mean? I'm glad I can help. If you already know this stuff, awesome. Then go tell somebody else and help them. I ain't got to waste your time. You tell your brothers, sister, cousin, whoever, and get them that information, get them kicked out, get them started. Teach them how to grow something. I'm gonna tell you something I noticed about the soil. It's something going on with everything. Everything, everything. There's something going on with everything. I noticed when I went to go get soil, I wanted some more like dirt textured soil. And if you would notice when you go to the big box stores, the all the soil they have, even the garden potting soil, it is more mulch in the bag than soil. You're getting sold a bunch of mulch or find a grade of mulch, which ain't holding no water. Some plants like a little bit of, if you would have to water your plants less if you had a dirt that had some kind of substance that would hold some moisture. With the stuff that they selling, man, when you put the water in there, it's boom, it's going straight through immediately. All of it, that just be dry. That's why you gotta water so much. You gotta use so much water. That's my experience. I don't know who else had that experience, but that's the experience that I had with that when it comes to doing that. So I'm gonna come out better just going in your backyard and digging up some soil, pull the grass out of it, and get it growing. Free soil instead of paying for something that don't even work. That's my advice to you on that. If you don't have any rechargeable batteries, I advise you to get you some rechargeable batteries like right now. Don't wait. Go and get them. Get a pack every time you go to the store because they high anyway. So just get you some batteries. Like I showed you before, you can use the battery data carry to organize your batteries and put your batteries up. That's something you guys need to do that because you're gonna be looking like, man, where are my batteries? It's organization will keep you alive. Trust me. If you're gonna organize and you don't know what nothing that, man, you're gonna have a hard time making it. Seriously. Make sure your water game is up, is on point. Make sure you're storing away water. Make sure you got a way to clean water, filter the water. You need a way to do that. You need a way to purify water. And I've already told you, activated carbon. You get this charcoal. It ain't even charcoal. It's whatever they call it. It ain't charcoal is burnt wood in a way. But you can you crush. It's called Royale. The bag of big bag of Royale. That's what it is. It's red. You get that stuff and you crush it down real fine, real fine. Then of course you got your sand, your pea gravel, your rock. Well, that's your rock. You know what I mean? And then you got your carbon. Your carbon clean purifies it. That purifies it, and then your sand, all that stuff, other stuff cleans it. If you're making your own filter, so that's something you definitely need to look into to getting it. If you ain't never made it before, go buy it and make it. Just make it. If man you have some problem, you forgot this or forgot that, then hey, Mississippi Survival, hey, hit me in the email at gmail.com. I'll tell you how to do it. But that's something you definitely need to do. You need to know how to purify water. You need to know where the nearest source of water is. You need to know how much water is in your house. And what I mean by know how much water in the house is, I mean, you got your cases of water in the house, you got jugs, pitchers of water in the house. You got to know where all your water is in your house, including your water tanks. I'm so sick of folks dying and have water in their house. It's just crazy. So died, blah blah blah. Didn't have water. Oh well, did anybody thought to open up turn the spigot on the water tank and get the water out of there? 100-gallon tank. with 100 gallons of water in it, turn the knob, and get the water. You die for nothing. Wow. Some stuff, some people, I mean, I hate for anything to happen to anybody, but some people's deaths are unnecessary. Didn't even have to happen. Just because of just a lack of knowledge of knowing. And you stay in the house and don't know that. You got a toilet with water in it, and the top and the bottom. You got that water and filter that water, purify that water, and got to drinking. If it was that bad. And another thing I don't understand, how you die from not having water, and all you had to do is leave the house and go get some. There's some in this story they got to be leaving out. Because that don't even make no sense. So I download the Citizens app, to, and that's something you guys can use. The name of it is the Citizens app, and it lets you know about. It keeps you informed and alert of all the things that's going on around you, forest home invasions and things of that nature, which we all need to know. And home invasions is not what they used to be. It's not the same. It's totally different. They doing something totally different. When they home invasion back in the day, they were trying to come in, take your money, wallets, different things of that nature like that, TVs. These folks ain't doing that no more. These home invasions is these folks coming in with guns to your house. They coming in just to rape your family. And I ain't trying to be graphic with them, just being honest. That's what they doing. They coming in, they trying to rape your wife and you too. Down it. I, look, I done had this app for a minute, and then I also watched the news with it on top of it, and I seen some stuff that was very disturbing to me. Women, make sure you are protected. You hear me? If you don't have a man at your house, even if you do got one, get something to protect yourself. Some people don't want to use a gun or whatever it is that they don't want to do. Find something to protect yourself. Because I can go ahead and tell you a story about a lady that didn't want to use a gun. She didn't believe in it. Using the gun. She had the gun. They broke in the house. She didn't use the gun. They raped her. Oh, I ain't finished. I'm going to give you the kicker that go with that. Not only did they rape her, now that she knew that they knew that she wasn't going to use no gun and she didn't believe in it, they came back and raped her again. Same people. That's sad. I mean, if she didn't, I feel sorry for her, honestly. I mean, if you didn't feel the need to use a gun, why don't you go over somebody else's house that will use one? I mean, or that will protect you. I mean, my God, don't stay there and get raped again. Oh my God, that is. Then we had another one. I felt like I got hooked on this old app for a minute. We had another one with the lady that okay, it was a family. It came in, they raped the woman and the man all night, and then got up the next day and made them cook them breakfast. It's sick. It's sick, and it's all a part. A lot. Some people might think I'm off. I'm off the bail. No, whatever my mind is giving me at the time, that's what I'm gonna give you. And I'm not off the track. I'm actually on the track because all this stuff coincides together. Because if you ain't ready for food shortages, then if you ain't got no food, then you gonna starve. If you ain't ready for that right there, or folks trying to break in and loot because they know that you ain't gonna do nothing, even if you're gonna do something, they ain't even breaking in for money. These folks want to rape whoever in the house, men and women, because we is in that time now. Well, that's what they want to do. I mean, that's the time we're in now. It's ridiculous. Anytime you got a book for kindergartners that say what, I mean, I don't even know if it's legal to use the king and the king. These are elementary students. Seriously. I'm just saying, if you can see that, you know where everything is going to. So I'm just saying, you don't have to be safe. I'm just telling you women, hey, y'all gonna have to tighten up. If you're gonna be by yourself, because some women are actually strong, and then some women are actually, they say, they talk it, but they really are not there. So for the ones that are not there, and they know you just talking, get you some protection. All y'all get some protection, seriously. Because I know you don't want nobody to break your house, and, you gotta watch somebody else doing something to your family member. That is a hard pill to swallow. The name of that thing is the Citizens app. If you just want to know what's going on around you, you'll be surprised how close some of this stuff is to you. And it'll be a good thing to know it. So you're like, man, this was 2 blocks down. Oh, let me make sure I'm straight, because then don't tell them they might come my way next week. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure y'all straight, make sure you prepare for whatever's going on. Or else I don't need this child. That's what it's for. It's to inform you, give you the information you need, and whatever information I got that will help you, that's what I'm trying to do. So if I jump from this area to that area to that area, it's only because I'm trying to help you. And I don't want to forget. If I'm thinking about it right then, I want to go and tell you. Because I don't want to forget it. Uh, because anyway, you look at it, all these videos at some point gonna be repetitious. Same thing will get said in a lot of them, because sometimes that's what it takes. It's just like a kid at school, elementary student. You gotta keep telling them the same thing over and over. Over a baby, for instance. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is how you spell eat. E-A-T. E-A-T. You can tell a child that 50 times, they still get it there and forget. It's 3 words, 3 letters. They still forget. So I'm saying that to say this, like, it's good to be repetitious. For people that don't get it, if you keep saying it, eventually they're gonna get it. And the ones that don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you on them. The ones that don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just being honest. Like I told you guys before, at one point I was in the process to get married. Oh yeah, but again, I told you, if you ain't hear me say nothing bad, ain't nothing happened. So ain't nothing happened. Toxic like gasoline. I think I'd rather have the gasoline. A mess. Would have been the biggest mistake of my life. And I don't want to make no one else. So this is survival is single, keeping it keeping it moving and keeping it pushing and doing whatever it is that he needs to do to prepare. Because if whoever your significant other is that's with you, and if they can't help you in what you're trying to do or on board with you and what you're trying to do, for me, they got to go. Now, if you got somebody that doesn't know and you trying to get them into understanding, and you already married, I understand. Even if you're not married, and you're trying to get them to the know-how and get them to understand what's going on and get them on the same wagon that you're on, I understand. But when you got a woman that wants to be a man or take, I mean, pretty much want to run the show, want to be. I'm trying to put this the best way I can. I'm telling you what I had to deal with and what I went through. Not to bash any women, just saying. How to explain this? You know, I usually don't have a problem biting no tongues. I say whatever I got to say. But, but okay, God made Adam and Eve, and He made us to be the man. So therefore, we have responsibilities as a man that we have to take care of as a man to do. But if you got somebody else that's trying to do your position and her position and God's position, that's too much. No, you're not gonna try to do my position and then turn around and try to use God against me. No, no, I don't work that way. No. So what I'm telling you is you need a team player. That's what I'm telling you. You need somebody that's gonna have your back for real, not a faker. Old liar. You can't have it. You gotta have somebody that got your back for real. And the only way you're gonna know that is when something happens. When something happens, the truth is gonna come out. And I'm gonna tell you something else. That very person that ain't got your back, that be talking all that old mess, trying to act tough, be boss dog. When something happens, when the person with all the knowledge, that's what they're gonna be looking for. They're gonna look for the person with the knowledge about the events. Although they act a fool, they still gonna look for you. So be careful who you keep company with. And what would I say? Don't fall in love with something that's not good for you because you could be released from what I call your punishment by God, but you actually holding on to your own punishment. He'd already freed you from it, but you still holding on to it. You say, well, son, I already freed you. The door is open. All you got to do is go through it and you're good. Well, hey, you got free will, son. So if you want to stay in the lion's den, when I already told you you can go ahead. When you get done, I'll be over here waiting on you. Right. That was me. So I walked out the door. Left the lions over there where they was at, and walked on out the door. so I can go and receive these blessings and do what I need to do. Because I found I get a lot more done. Everything started rising up for me and getting better all of a sudden. So that tells me right there. Plus, the way it started was wrong anyway. So good. So be it. So I'm good with that. So until that right person comes along, Mississippi Survivor is Mississippi Survivor. There's no Mississippi Survivor it. There is no her t-shirts. None of that. It's just me. So sorry I had to take you through my a little bit of my journey and dealings that I had to deal with. But hey, share with some people that might care. Cause bad enough feel like you guys care more than the person I'm with. So I mean, man, maybe not. Nevertheless, I still said I feel better. So I mean, it's good. It's good for me. But ladies, protect yourselves. Get to somewhere if you don't know how to get to a shooting range and learn how to hold a gun, how to shoot the gun, how to please don't flinch with the recoil of a gun or find one that doesn't have that much recoil. And remember, legally, people, legally, learn your states and laws in your own town, in your own city, and do it legally. Whatever you need to do, protect yourself. Now, you see, there's a lot going on with gas. There's a lot going on with food, even with weapons. Uh, I find it funny that all of a sudden, simultaneously across the world, somebody them went into schools, and like we know about the one Texas they went in and killed up all these young kids. Man, that was sad, cowardly, and it was stupid. And there was a lot about the response time to the officers. Would they have done it faster or not? I heard a lot of mess. I don't really want to speak directly on it, but I heard a lot of they had time, a lot of them don't have time, a lot of them said they didn't want to go in because they might get shot. I'm like, I just heard a lot of mess. So I don't know who what, but it's a bigger picture than what you guys are just looking at. I know y'all looking at the school shooting and what's going on with the school shooting. It was terrible. The kids that got killed, it was terrible. Don't mistake it. It was terrible. But everything is done. It's a bigger picture. So please listen to what I'm saying. And you're going to start thinking was this set up? Is this a setup? So if you would go ahead and take your time and do a little research and see across the board how many shootings has happened recently. And I'm not talking about one person, I'm talking about an area of people, a lot of folks. Look that up and put the plus signs together and let's equal it over now and say this: gun control. My personal opinion is I don't think some people even handle my personal opinion. It's People don't look at stuff the way I look at it. I look at stuff totally different than other people. I'm just like an artistic person. An artistic person, you can learn how to put a kite together and fly it one way, and an artistic person look at it a whole other different way. And it doesn't make them not smart because they don't do it the way you do it. They just don't think the way you think, which actually can make them smarter because their think pattern is different. So the way I'm looking at this whole situation is this could be strategically across the board a random setup. This boy didn't even have a jaywalking ticket. The one that killed this vote. Apparently, nope, we didn't. So what I'm saying is, across the board, if you look at, there's those several different shoes that happen. If you look them up yourself, you'll find them. But my thing was, I feel like this was a setup to me, and it's all bigger than what you just saw. I it's control. Let's get it in the. What other better way to get this in the legislature, get this talked about, to get a bunch of men stirred up about this? What better way to do it? Now we got to stir it up. Now we can actually pass a bill or a law where you can't do this, you can't do that. We're going to take this and we're going to take that. What better way to do it? Has anybody thinking of it? Has anybody thought of that? If you ain't thinking of it, you're not out of the box thinker. You're not thinking outside the box at all. If you haven't thought about this, you're not thinking outside the box. Listen, let me help you. Let me help y'all out. We are the just United States. I'm gonna stay right there. United States. Don't you know we outnumber the government? How many times do we outnumber the government? We outnumber the government. Now, why are you saying that? I'm not telling you to go do anything. I'm just telling you that we outnumber the government. But they know that. So if it's me, I'm the government, and I'm saying I'm one person, I'm the government, and you 200 people against me, just one person. Don't you think somebody got to think outside the box? That would be me, the government. I got to think outside the box. What can I do to control these 200 people? Hmm. Oh, let's kill 10,000 cows and tell them they had a stroke. Let's control the food. I'm just saying. I don't throw too much at y'all at one time. I'm just saying. Some stuff just. Listen, you ain't even make it if you don't think outside the box. Again, I'm the government. I'm going to give you another scenario. You the 200 people. And it's funny. This is tickling to me because I am one and you are 200 and you depend on the one and you 200, but you depend on the one. How sick, how sad is that? Come, get with me. Anybody get with me and throw this and say something in the comment. Anybody get with me if you know what I'm talking about. You are 200. I am one body. One. You depend on the one. And you are 200 people. It look like the one all depend on 200. What do we know? That ain't the way it works. And I can prove to you that you depend on the one. You depend on me. I'm gonna prove to you. If I come around there and turn your water off tomorrow, where are you gonna get water from? The one. If I turn off your gas, where are you gonna get your gas from? The one. I turn off your electric. Where are you gonna get your electric from? The one. And you know what? You know why I'm so bad as you? Because I know that I'm the one. I know that you outnumber me, and I am going to be thinking and having board meetings and sitting at the round table all year long, prepping and getting my mind together on what I can do to control the 200. Yeah, you can say something whenever you get ready. What can I do to control this 200 that outnumber me 200 to 1? What can I take from them? They depend on me. I'll take their food stamps. I'll take the government check. I'll have a disruption in the food supply. Hmm. I'll stop certain minerals from coming your way that you need to make major things happen. I throw chemtrails everywhere and poison your trees and your fruit so you can't even grow nothing. Do you actually think that they are encouraging you to do a garden outside? You got to be kidding me. Oh well, we're gonna make a disruption in the food supply. So what you need to do is go out and do a garden so you don't have to worry about us. Are you kidding me? No. That's why this mess is up here to get poison. You gotta have a greenhouse. That's why so many people need to learn how to grow inside your house. Because they're throwing stuff in the atmosphere that's been happening before we was born. So much has been happening before we was born. Putting stuff in the atmosphere and poisoning trees. Trees won't even bear no fruits. Just foolishness. And some of you think you know it all. I got this. We good. Nope. You are the 200 on the one. You're the 200 that's not even together. You're just a number that's a separate entity. You are 200. But if you can take that 200 and turn that 200 into one body and sit at the round table every day, just as the one does, you will have just as much power as the one, and you will know what to do. And if you were doing that, then your mind will always think outside the box. And if you're already thinking outside the box, you know what the next move is coming. You would know. For instance, if I was the one, I would attack the most important thing you need in the world: water. Seems that that's happening already. Read the news. Open your ears and listen. Read. Listen. They're already doing it. Shortage on water. Can't get no water. We are running out of. How in the bologna sandwich, when the earth has more water than land, we run out of water? Well, I know someone's going to come with this foolishness. Well, there's salt water and we can't drink the salt. You people, oh my God. You're brainwashed. You're brainwashed. What is the name of that movie with Tom Hanks was in this movie, if I'm not mistaken. And he was swimming in the water so much he had fins on his feet. Waterworld. Waterworld. That was the name of it. And I told y'all 1,000 times, a lot of this stuff in the movie is happening for real. Let me help you with Waterworld. Did you notice on his boat that he had a contraption that would clean and convert seawater into regular water that you could drink? Go watch the movie. And do you think for 1 minute we've been on this earth all this time that they have not come up with a way to take seawater, salt seawater, and turn it into regular water that you can drink? Do not be fooled. There's no way. They didn't mess with everything that the earth had to offer. Stuff they ain't even had no business messing with. And you trying to tell me that they ain't did that yet? Let me help you. All the technology you got right now is not new. This mess is old. Your cell phones is old. This internet mess, all this junk old. They been had this stuff. They had this stuff way before you. Well, this came out in 90. That didn't. Oh my goodness. These folks been had this. They had this stuff so long. They said, "Well, here go the one again," thinking, "Hmm." So, whoa, dude. We're at the round table. Me and one. We're at the round table. Wow. We can take these phones that we got and make them civilization to usage, and give them to each person, and we can make billions of dollars because the technology is here. We just need to make phones and start giving them out. So the phones started with these big chunky phones, and then as time progressed, they got smaller, thinner, slimmer, bigger screens. They got smart. The technology's been there all the time. It's just that you think, oh, it came out at night. No, it didn't. They've been had it. The almost stuff they've been had, and I don't think it just came out. It been here. People, I am risking my own life to get you guys to listen and understand that you need to stop thinking on a regular level. You need to stop depending on the government. Stop it. I can guarantee you, before Christmas gets here, I will no longer have to depend on anything that they have. Nothing. Water, gas, none of that. That's why I've been gone so long. I'm working hard on this thing. Because if I'm going to talk about it, I got to be about it, of course. So, what you going to do? Oh, yeah, by the way, involve your community. If you don't involve your community, when your community gets hungry, your community is going to take your food. Oh, sure, you might shoot a few of them. Eventually, they're going to kill you. So, or you just don't have no community left. So, I advise you to get the information out to your community and y'all lock in together as one unit. One unit, I keep saying it. One unit is stronger than 200 people. 200 people with no unity is dead. 200 people all together in one unity and on one accord that can do anything. Stuff that they didn't even think they could do. They can have their own homestead, Walmart, right there on their land. They need men to get out there and work it, and the women do their job. We do our job. That somebody's gonna have to educate these kids with real education, and not this foolishness that they sticking in the. They're doing stuff to make us think. Then they throwing it. It's in TV so much until they want us to feel like it's normal. No, sir, I ain't going. It's not. It's not normal. No. Did you know in 1999 the census poll said back in 1999 that 72% of the homes are fatherless? Don't you know that's a major problem? And that was 1999. How did you destroy, excuse me, for 1 second. How did you destroy, nothing against nobody, but how did you destroy the black home? How? Take the man out of the equation. Leave the woman to fend for herself and the kids. Now, what's going to happen? Now it's time to build your prisons. Why? Because the family is in a disarray. There is no structure coming from the household whatsoever. There's no discipline of the man in the household because a woman cannot teach a man to be a man. Some women has raised them both and did a good job, but we don't have them nana mama. I don't know that they fading away. It ain't the same as it used to be. That's how you devalue or destroy the home. And I think you do that with anybody, black or white. It just happened to be us at the time. And that was in 1999, people. It is 2022. I'm sure the rate is higher. And I mean, I ain't trying to get on nobody, but listen, I don't know. It's because you, oh my gosh. Okay, women. Some women are trying to be too strong. So, not on some. Or what I mean by that is you can't run your role and run his role. God set up a design and the way that the roles are supposed to go and what the man is supposed to do and the woman is supposed to do. You are a helpmeet, not a king. You're not supposed to take over that. And you are supposed to listen to him and you are supposed to be submissive to your husband. I'm not saying for him to devalue you and talk to you crazy. He's supposed to love you, honor you, and protect you. Yes. But you are supposed to be submissive. And when your husband gives the say so of the house, that's it. That's what it is. But it's so much of that has been taken out of the home. It's gone. The woman wants to run the house, wants to run the show, and that's not the way God intended for it to be. That is not His design. I'm just telling the truth, y'all. Just telling you the truth. People, we have got to wake up. We are asleep. We are sleepwalking, looking, going to your little restaurant every other day, thinking everything gonna be hunky dory. It is not getting better. It's getting worse. Get your house in order. Get your things in order. My son called me. He calls me like so. He moved, left out of town with his mom. Of course, he had to follow his mom. I wouldn't expect him to do nothing different because I would have followed my mom too. But he still loves his dad. So yeah, he calls me all the time. If anything, man, a question he gotta ask, he called me and asked me. Don't call her and he'll ask her she does. He called and asked me. Because he know me. You know my mentality. You know how I'm at. You know I'm gonna tell him the truth. I'm not gonna break it down, pretty it up. I'm gonna tell him the truth. Same thing I do with my girls. I'm gonna tell them the truth. The way the world is designed right now and set up right now, you can't go in there and lie to your children, making it sound pretty. I tell them the straight truth. He is trying to get this, hit this, and then he threw. I just tell them the truth. Because if you don't, they're gonna learn their own way at school. Somebody's gonna tell them or try to make a fool out of them. So I don't know what the name is video. I'll figure it out before in a minute, but some of you just need to start waking up, listening, understanding exactly what's going on, and doing something about it. Get with your community. You know, when I have extra things, I just go give it to my neighbors. I'm forming a relationship with my neighbors. Uh, a relationship that could bond, make a nice bond, and I can teach them some things. And hey, they got something they can teach me. Hey, I want to learn it too. And we all be together on one accord. So if something happen, we don't even flinch because we all together on one accord, and we already know what the business is, and we doing that. We could go straight into action. Okay, boom, you need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. You need to do that. Cool. I ain't gonna hold you guys all night. It's so much on my mind right now. It's unreal, and I can run this video till tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna do it. But there's gonna be a lot more videos coming through and down the pipe. So I just want you guys to know that. All my new subscribers, please like and subscribe. Liking it will send that video out so other people can see it and they can like it as well. That information to get out to people that it really needs to get out to. Subscribing, you know what I mean, helps me. You know what I mean. Well, yeah, subscribe to the channel helps me as well. Um, I don't do any of the YouTube, whatever you call it. They don't pay me jack. I just do what I do. What I do. You know what I mean? I just ask my subscribers if they want to support me. Hey, they can hit me on my PayPal, Cash App, PayPal, Mississippi Survivor, same email at y'all at gmail.com, or my Cash App at $winners56. You know, that's winners with an S on the end. But I'm gonna keep, I got a lot on my mind, and y'all gonna hear a lot from me this week, a lot. So get ready, get ready, because I'm also getting ready to. I already bought some fishing poles. I'm gonna buy some more poles. Uh, we start learning how to go fishing and catching your own stuff. And if you're not an air gun person, get to be one. I don't care what the English just sounded like on that. I said get to be one. Be one. You get that you get your air gun, and I mean smaller things like squirrels and raccoons or whatever. I guess you man kill them. Now you gonna hit a raccoon, you better make sure you got a PCP at rifle, because you get out there playing with a regular BB gun and hit one of that raccoon might come back and slap you. Just saying. So make sure you know what you're doing. Uh, Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me at this hour. It's like 11 something at night, man. But I felt the need to get on here and put the information down to you. So, man, you guys have a blessed night. I look forward to talking to you guys real soon. I love you, my women. Get you some protection and protect yourself. Know your laws and guidelines of your state. You get me? Make sure you know where they are. Men, Solomon says it's, it's easier said than done. Because I know some women can be high headed. But even if you don't get along with that woman, or y'all can't make it for as a relationship is concerned, I need y'all to do something for me. I don't care if Ted is coming to the house. I don't care about none of that. None. I don't care if you don't like him. So what? It don't matter. She moved on. Let her move on. Do you? This is what I'm telling you to do. Go get your kids. Take care of your kids. Stay an active part of your kids' life. That's what I'm telling you to do. So even if you're not in that household, you still have an influence over your child. The problem is a lot of men leave and they don't have nothing to say to their own kids, and then they go start a whole nother family, and then you got this family, which ain't nothing wrong with your new family, you know what I mean? But you left the kids hanging because you beef with the woman. That was y'all beef. The kids didn't do nothing, so there's no reason to be mad at the kids. Stay in the life of the children actively. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of times they might not even. Some of these kids ain't even yours. It don't matter. They need a role model and a father figure. So you need to stay in the life anyway. I'm going through that right now, so I know. Not my biological, but I love her like my biological. Tell you that now. I ain't got to take no tests, nothing like that. I'm like, look, I'll take responsibility for that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. That's my baby. No matter how idiotic the mom is, that's still my baby. I'm speaking off with my experience with the person, this one person. So I don't know what y'all deal is and what went on with that, but I'm just saying, stay in a child's life. And if it's any kind of real woman or real mother, they would agree with that as well. Even if they don't get along with it, or they think you're an idiot, it don't make no difference. They should at least agree that you should stay a part of that person's life, unless you just retarded or doing something crazy that's threatening the life of the child. Then you don't need to be around. But other than that, be in their life, be a father figure. You'll be surprised how much those kids appreciate that when they go through school and all that right there. Because that happened with me, so I know. You'll never know. You'll know how much they appreciate it, and they show you how much they appreciate it. What you think they didn't, they really did. Or they ain't had nobody in their life. They really want that. So I'm just speaking to my man on that point. I know some will be hard. I mean, just at least try. Even if you gotta talk to the mom, like, hey, look, I know we don't get along, but I want to be a part of my daughter's son's life. Can we set something up so I can come and see them or pick them up? And I mean, I ain't trying to get in your life and bother you with whatever you're doing. I ain't got nothing to do with who you dating, none of that. I just want to be a part of my child's life. Can I pick them up and on such and such a day, whatever's if it's convenient for you, so I can spend some time with my child. That's it. That's all we gotta do. I ain't saying it's gonna work for everybody, because some people are just knuckleheads. So I mean, if it works, awesome. If it don't, I mean, I believe we should get these numbers up from 72 or 80 or 90, whatever it is, now down. Get it down some, because this is ridiculous. So again, hey, your boy Mississippi Survivor is in this thing. I'm gonna give you the information raw, uncut. A lot of times you're gonna like it, a lot of times you ain't. If you don't like it, then that means I know I did what I was supposed to do. You do like it, wonderful. I'm a soldier in the middle of this battle. But I guarantee you, if we work together and whatever groups that we have, make those groups one and work on one accord, we will win. Because you'll be thinking the same way, and that's outside the box and not small minded. So I hope you guys sleep well. This Mississippi Survivor. Sorry I've been gone so long, But I'm back in this thing, and I need to be in this thing because I got some more information for y'all. Y'all have a good night. I love you. Please like and subscribe. Be strong. Be of good faith. Bless y'all.